Alright, new video, take two. Welcome back, everybody, to the Hexes and Soldiers channel. This is, finally, the complete board 4. It's been a work in progress. This board has been the result of a 3D printer that has had issues, stopped working intermittently. The board itself, now these are in 16 sections that were printed out, 1.5 hexes. The board had an issue, and it was the gentleman who uploaded the files. I'm not sure how this happened or what, but a number of hexes were double printed such that when you tried to place the piece in, so again, these are 16 sections, when you place one of the panels in, it was covering over another section. It was like double printed along a row, and I racked my head on how to figure out how to deal with this until finally I just took a utility knife and cut the dang things out. Now luckily these don't print solid. You can see they're kind of like sandwiched, so it was a task, but it was doable. And I thought, I wonder if I can just cut it out so it'll fit. And that's what I did. I ended up cutting out 3, 4, 5, 7 hexes to get this one panel that was miffed to fit in there. And then I found another file that he had uploaded, because you can do, this is board 4, you can also do board 2 and 3. And somebody did in fact mention that, hey, board 4 has an issue. So I'm like, okay, it's not just me. It's a legitimate issue. And the guy said in a reply, "Oh, I fixed the board," and then another reply was, "No, you haven't. There's still an issue." So I don't know. I did the only thing I knew to do, and I again just took a utility knife and hacked my way through until I got it. Wasn't perfect, but I got it to work. Now here's the original board 4. So quite a significant enlarging, but that's what I want. And I can't remember if I talked about this or not in the last video, but I really believe 1.5 hexes are the sweet spot here. Anything bigger's, unless you're using micro armor, it's not really needed. Anything smaller, it gets a little too crowded. So I do feel like 1.5 is a sweet spot here. So what do you do with board 4? Well, there's some things to consider there as well. Board 4, out of 2, 3, and 4, which were other options, 2 and 3, I chose 4 because I think part of it was the landscape was such that it would print faster. There's not a whole lot going on here, topographically speaking. We've got woods, wheat fields, some buildings, walls, hedges. But if you'll notice, there's no hills anywhere, and that's board 4 for you, no hills. Now we do have hills on, I think, 2 and possibly 3, so maybe in the future I purchase and download one of those and print those out, but for now I'm content with what I got. So yeah, board 4. Again, going back to my original question, what can you do with it? There's a couple of scenarios that use board 4. There's a handful of scenarios that use board 4 in cooperation with other boards together. But what I was trying to see is how many scenarios there are that just use board 4, and there are a couple out there. So that means some custom modifying, which I have no problem with doing, never have, never will. So I've just been looking for interesting scenarios, sticking with the order of battle, etc. And yes, maybe the number of buildings won't be the same, but whatever. I can live with that. It's about fun. I'm not in a tournament. So yeah, board 4 finished. It took about probably a good 2 weeks from start to finish, and I did initially have the first 2 boards printed out in yellow because that's what was loaded in the machine. And then once I ran out of yellow, because I had done the commands and colors thing before that, I just randomly uploaded the green PLA, and I really like the way this turned out. Again, it looks like it would be something you get from a factory if you ordered a game. Still not sure if I want to paint it or not. I already talked about all this stuff. But anyway, there it is in all its glory with my hand to scale. It's pretty sweet. And you can resituate the 16 sections into different configurations. It won't be 100% perfect, but it's doable, and I have done that as well. So there's that. What else did we want to talk about? A couple other things. I did finally go ahead and order through Gamers Armory, which I already mentioned, and hats off to them. Trying to update my ASL inventory, and it's weird with them because I placed an order and then got no reply, verifying that I had placed an order. And so after a couple of business days, I finally broke down and contacted them and said, "Hey, I've ordered something with you guys. Hello. Is there an ETA? What can I expect? Blah, blah, blah." So, well, we're waiting on the basic training ASL starter kit magazine to ship to us, and then we'll ship your order. Fine, fair enough. I'm not in a hurry. I was polite about it. And that's what happened. Not maybe a couple days later, they got their shipment in and shipped it out to me pronto, priority mail, and it showed up yesterday. Yeah, yesterday I believe. So this is what I got to update my. I try to keep up with the core MMP product that gets released, but finally got a hold of this. I was reading this at the Indian restaurant last night. This is fantastic. This is wonderful. If you haven't picked it up, even if you're not into starter kit, just do yourself a favor. This thing is awesome. The articles are great. So there's that, and I just started reading that, so I've got a lot to do there. Picked up Winter Offensive 15 because I hadn't had that yet. And this is the, as I sneeze as silently as possible, this is the giant, if you don't know, Winter Offensive Bonus Pack 15. It includes these giant deluxe. Bless me. So there's the factory. So I had to pick that up. Hadn't had. Let's see if we can get this back in there. I don't know when I started this, but I always keep the original cellophane. I just cut the side open to pull things out and put them back in. Keeps it contained. I don't know. Keeps it. If something spills on it, you know, whatever. ASL Action Pack 18 Oktoberfest Fest. I was sleeping on, so I needed to grab that as well. Again, this is by way of updating my inventory. Arnhem 2024. This was for a tournament. The 4 scenarios for the Arnhem ASL tournament. So just 4 scenarios. And then the roads to Rangoon. Grab Rangoon. Action Pack 19, I hadn't had that, and finally Winter Offensive Bonus Pack 16. That does leave the most recent ASL journal yet to be acquired, but hey, you know, that's a lot of stuff. I can only get so much, and I thought maybe I'll leave that for a possible potential birthday gift for somebody to get me in August. So there's all that. Back at it. Been reacquainting myself with the squad leader, more specifically ASL, and remembering why it's such a hoot. I did finally figure out how to do the Vassal module and download that and actually get it to work, more or less. There was a program that I didn't have. I forget what it's called now. It's a really common program too, that I didn't have downloaded to open and run Vassal. So once I did that, and I watched, I forget his name, he has a YouTube channel, maybe ASL Academy, not sure, but a great tutorial on how to run Vassal. Again, I had never done this before, so in the future I may tread more further down that road, but for now that's a major breakthrough for me to just get the thing to open up and actually potentially play it, because I had tried this off and on 3 or 4 times over the years and just wrung my hands out and said it's not for me. But that's because I didn't know what I was doing. So there you go. There's your quick update. And yeah, I think that's it. All right. I hope everybody's doing well. We'll talk again soon. And